Seriously? A Dodo Rex? You think I'm going to be scared of a Dodo Rex? Hello, and welcome to ARK's Fear Evolved 4 event. Yep, it is that time of year again. Halloween or Hallows Eve, whatever you want to call it. And all sorts of wonderful things can go on. You can have great fun on ARK when they bring this event out. But what I want to focus on in this episode in particular is Dodo Rex. I did Dodo Rex last year, and I've done it again in this particular event that's come out. But I'm going to show you how I've been doing it, and hopefully, you can learn something useful from it, or better yet, maybe you can point me in a direction of a better strategy. To be honest, I mean, if you do know of a better strategy based on what I'm doing, please post in the comment, because it makes my life easier. It makes it easier for anybody else watching. But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, this strategy should work. It's worked before, so I'll show you what I'm doing. Hopefully it'll be a benefit to you. But anyway, Dodo Rex. What the heck is this thing? Well, it's a big, massive dinosaur that appears on the map in entirely a random place. Roughly every 3 days, and we're talking game days, Dodo Rex will be announced. It'll spawn around midnight, and then it'll disappear by about 5:15, I'm finding. So you've got very little, like a limited amount of time to actually find it and then kill it, because that's the goal. You've got to basically kill Dodo Rex. And then you get, well, you get little chibis like this little beastie here, for instance. Now, if you're playing in a tribe, or if you've got friends, it's slightly easier, I would say. I mean, Dodo Rex is not something easy to take down. You look at it, it's 666,666 health. That's a heck of a lot of health. So it is difficult for a tribe, but you've got that added advantage where everybody can just scatter around the map. Now, when you're going to do it by yourself, yeah, it becomes more of a numbers game for me, because what I tend to do is, well, I did originally try just basically going up to the middle of the map and then just picking a place at random. But then eventually I just thought, oh, forget it. All I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick a quadrant, and I'll just keep sticking to that quadrant. It's got to show up in this particular quadrant sometime. So I just keep, rinse and repeat. When I know that Dodo Rex is going to turn up, and it's every 3 nights basically, I would go to the center of that quadrant basically, and then I would just wait, wait for the Dodo Rex to be announced, and then I would search that quadrant. Now the thing is, eventually, and I mean, because we're talking game days, eventually you will get a case where it will show up in that particular quadrant. So it's, it's just a matter of, patience and time more than anything. Because I'm doing this on YouTube, I've got to get a video out there, and I've got to save myself even more time. So I'm going to make my life easier than that by having an actual scanner. So what I've got down there are some S Plus tech transmitters. So there are a slight difference on the vanilla tech transmitter that you get, because they've come with what's called a dino scanner, and it'll allow me to pinpoint on the map where Dodo Rex actually is. So I mean, I've got this little Omni tool, and it's set up to do scans. I've had to set up 5 of these tech transmitters, plus an additional 2 tech generators to provide all the power. But it means that this remote scanner's fully working. I can go anywhere on this map, and I'll be able to do dino scans. So, for instance, we say like an Allosaurus. I know there's a 125 level Allosaurus on the map at these 2 locations, that latitude, that longitude. If I click on it, I'll get more details. I'll get a rough guide on the map as to whereabouts that actually is. I also get its gender, the points that went into those various stats that it's got. But there's no sign of of the actual Dodo Rex on here. Now, normally what happens is, if the scanner knows about a dino or creature on the map, and it's not there, or it can't find one, it just greys it out. So we've got things like a bunny dodo, the bunny oviraptor, for instance, a party dodo. It knows about them, I just can't, can't see any at this moment in time. And yeah, that kind of like threw me at first. But what actually happens is when we get to midnight of that particular night when Dodo Rex spawns, all of a sudden we'll end up with an entry for Dodo Rex here, and I'll be able to tell whereabouts it is on the map. My strategy's still the same in that I'm still going to go to a quadrant. I've got to pick a specific quadrant. I mean, say for instance where I'm at here. If that scanner tells me Dodo Rex is up on like Dead Island, for instance, I'm not going to get there in time. I've only got from about midnight to 5:15 to A, get there, find it, and then kill it. It doesn't leave me hardly any time to even like do that. So realistically, I'm just going to stick with a one quadrant. I'm going to go with the southeast quadrant. I'm going to basically wait until the third night. I'm going to head over to roughly the middle area, and I'm just going to wait for Dodo Rex to be announced. Then I'll use the scanner. So it's slightly different. Instead of just randomly looking around on that area of the map, I'm going to use the scanner so it'll tell me. So that way, if it says, oh, it's up in the northwest, well, forget it. I'm not going to bother. I'm just going to come back to the base, do whatever I'm going to do, and then I'll wait for the next event when it pops up again in 3 nights' time. So then I'll go back to the quadrant, and it's just rinse and repeat until eventually it does show in that quadrant. So it's saving me a lot more time by having that S Plus scanner than I would normally have, because otherwise I would have just been going round and around that quadrant, not knowing that Dodo Rex happened to be in the northwest, for instance. And one of the reasons I'm not going to the northwest is just because it's extremely cold up in the north as well. Well, basically anywhere in the north you've got like Utis and all sorts. That's the other challenge, is I need to be able to deal with Dodo Rex. I don't want too many other hassles while I'm at it. But it's a strategy that's worked for me so far, and that's what I'm going to show you. So we just need to wait for Dodo Rex to make its appearance, and then we'll get into gear. See you shortly. Aha! I was getting distracted by the snake down there. So, Dodo Rex has arrived. So where is Dodo Rex? So we'll have a look on the scanner, and it says he's at 4622. Now I'm actually over here. To me it's going to take too long to get over there. So what I'm going to do is, yeah, I'm going to wait for the next time he shows up. See you in a while. Well, meteors coming down are a good sign. When is he going to turn up? Aha! Where are you? Where are you? 8354. Oh, actually that's quite close to where we are. 8354. So we've got to head off in that general direction of 8354. So that's in that general direction down there. So I'm going to just keep heading down there. I mean, you'll notice that I've actually got my tech helmet set up for night vision, and I've deliberately done that to make my life easier, because yeah, sometimes this thing ends up literally amongst all the trees, which makes it hard to find. But it's also beneficial for yourselves, to be honest, because if I'd been playing this in just like normal, you'd probably not hardly see a thing. I see things quite clearly, I must admit, on the actual game screen and the monitor that I've got, but I know it comes through pretty badly in the YouTube final cut for whatever reason. But anyway, I'm going to keep heading around and looking for this beastie, because it's not too far from here, so hopefully we'll be able to get to it in time, and then we can see if we can bring it down. Ah, you can hear that music. Now this could be a problem, because the last time I was told it was here, I couldn't find it. I literally could not find it. So it was supposedly around here somewhere, but I couldn't. I just simply couldn't find it. I don't know whether it's a bug or something. Well, let's run a scanner. Where does it say? Roughly 8353. 8353. I mean, we're almost at 83.53. And I ain't seeing anything. We're supposedly close because you can hear the music. I mean, even if you search for the zombie dodos, they'll show up on this. Well, oh no, it's a pteranodon. I was getting all optimistic there. No. I just don't know if it's a... I think you see the music's gone off. So it's saying it's around here. I mean, I've got the night vision goggles effectively. I mean, we've got a tech helmet. We've got night vision. Ah! Oh no, that's the Trudons. See, the music's gone off, so we've gone away from it wherever it is. So it's saying it's around here, and I'm wondering if it's literally underneath that place. Because there's just nowhere it can be around here. It's nowhere else except literally in there somewhere. Oh well, oh, I guess we'll just have to wait for another night and try again. Ah, right. Has he showed up anywhere near? Dodo Rex 68. Oh, blimey, that's next to where our base is. Okay. Right, well, we'll head back to base then. See you in a while. Yeah, I've spotted the beastie. It's all the way down there. Ugh. Capros and Sargos, Violet Colios around here. This could be fun. But the strategy is to find somewhere reasonably safe without aggroing that thing straight up. I'm going to have to deal with whatever comes in this direction first. Right, tell you what. Before that happens, I'm going to get... yeah, it's Lemming that I want to get out. Oh, flipping heck. Can you all take care of that thing first? Right. You... I don't want you on neutral. Otherwise, things are going to get nasty. Right, so the plan is we're going to use a giga. Oh, for crying out loud! Look, this is the one challenge I can't like plan for. Is things getting in the way. Right, I'm going to plunk myself down here and try again. What? Right. I'm going to take advantage of these turrets. These are the heavy turrets. Now, makes no difference whether, well, they do. I mean, if you use the S+ ones, you can actually be very specific in what you target, but I'm not going to do that. What I'm just going to do is make sure I've got enough bullets in each of them. I've actually got some more, but I've got to put something in here. But the trouble is, I'm on the clock here. Could have overshot with one of them actually. Not that it matters, to be honest, because I'll actually run out of bullets anyway, to be honest. So I've got a certain amount of time in which to get these all ready. And then I've actually got to get... take one of those back. I've got to get them all set up to actually do what they're supposed to do. But I literally will run out because I'm relying on the Giga to finish everything off. Not sure exactly how many I've got here. But as long as I use up them all, it doesn't really matter. I'm just having to be mindful of the time that I've got, because as I say, I've got to program these things as well. Oh, that'll do. Right, so I'm going to get a tech generator out, because that's easier. Plug that there. Plug that there. Turned on. Right, we'll set that to... set it to high, set it to wild only. So I'm not being very specific in terms of what we're going to target. I mean, I could, but I'm just mindful of not everyone will be using something. things like S+, because by default, these are not going to hit anything. Now, the trouble is they're going to end up actually hitting everything. That's the downside, so it's not as effective as it could be, but if you've got the vanilla, you haven't got a choice. Right, where's that? Right, I'm going to go and get my giga. If I can turn the blooming thing around. Because if you notice the timer there. Right, those things are already coming. Those little dodos, but I'm going to take a pot shot at that Dodo Rex, and we're going to get Dodo Rex pulled over as well. Right, so those lot are going to slug it out. I've tried it with 3 turrets and it doesn't work. They can't basically put enough bullets into that Dodo Rex in time. 4 I can get away with. But what I'm also banking on is that timer down there, because it's 3 o'clock in the morning. Now I've pulled it off with just 1 giga. Sometimes the giga, well, it buys the farm, to be honest. But I've got a second one as a backup. So I'm just going to sit patiently here waiting for this timer. In fact, actually, I'll move a bit further out, to be honest. I've got to be careful, though, because if I start pulling other things in this direction. Because there's all sorts of nasties around here. It's capros in particular I'm bothered about. But we'll see how those guns are doing, because at least they're close. They're reasonably close to be able to target Dodo Rex. I've tried it with an actual Rex. I've got this one here. I mean, this one's got tons of health. It's kind of like the halfway Rex I was breeding way back. It was 20 mutations in health, 20 mutations in melee, and I just put all of its experience into health. And the trouble I had with that one is it just kept wandering all over the place, whereas the Giga's pretty much staying put. It doesn't wander as much, whereas the Rex kept wandering all over and it kept going out of range of the guns, which was causing no end of problems. So our timer's almost finished. It's 350, so far we're okay. Now if I can, I'm going to play it safe, and I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to get this other Rex out. There's no harm in doing that. I've done it with just the one. Did I say Rex? I meant Giga. That particular one, I gave that one extra health versus the other one. Whereas, because the original one I sent out, it's just nothing but melee. This one on the left, I gave that quite a bit of health to see if that would benefit, but you hardly get anything on Gigas for health. So it seemed to be doing okay, because I mean they're hitting for about, well, nearly 3,000. I think the guns are now struggling because there's 2 Gigas. I should have probably put that Giga behind the other one. I don't want to go, I'm kind of like tempted to go close, but I'm not going to go too close. But the good thing about that I like with these Gigas is that they're keeping the Dodo Rex in one specific place, whereas the actual Rex I had just kept wandering all over the place. I mean, it more or less, it had tons of health, so it was benefiting from the turrets being nearby. Yeah, I'm banking on the actual guns, you see, to be honest, more than the actual Gigas. See if I can get them to move away. Because most of the damage that I want done is going to be the turrets, then you can see it's bloodied. So it's like a chicken and egg. I've got to keep them away from the... I've got to keep them close so that the guns can hit them. But not too close. Otherwise... Yeah. Ah, there you go. Thus ends the tale of Dodo Rex. I must admit, the last time I did this, I didn't even get a cache. Ooh, we've got a chibi skeletal bronto. And another wyvern one. Right. That's not bad. So we did it. Ooh, we did it with about like 10 seconds to spare, basically. So yeah, so I mean the strategy does work. I mean originally I've been varying, you know, the number of turrets. I tried it with just 3 initially, because the biggest problem I've got is actually carrying all this. I mean, it doesn't really matter whether you're going to use the vanilla ones or the S Plus ones. The S Plus ones have this added advantage where they combine everything into one. So I can change the range and I can change the target type in one go. I could have even been more selective. You can see at the moment it doesn't actually say Dodo Rex. When the Dodo Rex is here, it would have given me that option, but I didn't want to do that because I think it would have skewed the results, to be honest. And as I say, if there's anybody who's like watching who isn't using S Plus, then you wouldn't have that advantage. So I've got, as I say, I've got that slight advantage in that I can do everything from the one menu. I don't have to go like to here and change the target type, and then to here and change the range, for instance. By default, it's medium. I mean, those two were bringing those they were bringing the actual Dodo Rex quite close anyway. So to be honest, I might have been able to get away with not having to change that. So you might just have to reconfigure the turret options to say to target wild dinosaurs only, because by default they're geared towards like players and their tames. But what I've found is, as long as I can stay a good distance away from Dodo Rex, get my giga out as quickly as possible, and then that starts the timer straight away. I don't want to really engage with Dodo Rex immediately, because I want time to put my turrets down. I want time to actually start preparing them, get my power going and everything. And I do prefer that over the gasoline powered generator. The reason being, I mean, it'll work, but the risk is, if Dodo Rex comes over in this direction, it can trash the normal power generator that you've got. So you're better off, you know, getting a tech generator. I'm only consuming like 1 element. Now, I have tried a variation of this, and that is to use the tech turrets. The trouble with those is it consumes way too much element. I just couldn't realistically pull it off. So 4 of these, they don't weigh too much. I don't know if I can pick these up because they're broken. Oh, yeah, I can. Normally I can't pick them up. I mean, if this was vanilla, you wouldn't have been able to pick them up anyway, to be honest. But to be honest, you wouldn't really be too concerned about that because your priority is Dodo Rex anyway. So the thing with these is we didn't get as many of the bullets used up as I was expecting. Last time I did this, I gave each turret 1,000 bullets, and it worked. Where's Lemming? So this is Lemming. Now, Lemming isn't the best of my gigas, I must admit. 30-odd thousand health, and I've pushed the melee up to about 550 because she's the product of an M8. So I've been breeding some gigas. So we started off with like a level 217 giga. That's from I think that goes back to a 150 I found way back in like June, ages and ages ago, and I've been breeding gigas ever since. And I think I'm up to like M9's my latest, but I've got so many eggs I'm still clearing them all out. So I just picked one of the eggs, and we got this one here. Now the actual saddle that this one's got, I can't remember whether I got that from a deep sea crate or one of the actual caves, because I spent quite a bit of time in the swamp cave and in the underwater cave on the west coast combing for actual saddles, and I found this one. So this was the actual saddle itself. Now this other one, what I got for this one, you'll see this one's should be the product of the same gigas. I put a lot more health into this one, but I could tell it just wasn't going to cut it, to be honest. So it doesn't have as much melee as the other one. The saddle isn't as good because I've actually got an ascendant saddle, which is that armor class. I mean, because I was only going to make the one, it wasn't worth the point of doing a mind wipe and doing my crafting skills, because I might have got a crappy result anyway, to be honest. So I didn't bother with that. So that's literally the blueprint I found. Again, I can't remember whether that might have been in the swamp cave, might have been in one of the deep desert loot drops, deep desert, the deep ocean crates that you find. But yeah, good news is we've now got some more little chibis. Because I mean, every time I die, my character gets things like the Dodo Rex costume and what have you. But yeah, one thing I can say with certainty though was like the last time I pulled this off was for these heavy auto turrets and 1,000 of these bullets in each one, and I actually ran out. And the problem I always had, I actually tried with 5, and the trouble was actually carrying all of those turrets plus the actual ammo, because they weigh quite a lot. I mean, the ammo, it's 10 per stack, and we're up to like 64 in weight for the heavy turrets as well. So I was trying to find a balance, and 4 turrets for me seem to be doing it. But I think my main benefit is the fact that this gigas, it's hitting quite a lot, but it's just kind of keeping it occupied. It's helping. Most of the damage will be coming from those actual turrets. Because there's different strategies that you can get. Oh, I can't pick it up. I'm going to have to fix it. Foobar. Right, I'm going to have to go out and get some stuff to fix that thing. Because usually what I try to do is keep the actual Dodo Rex much further away. And as I say, I mean, I've got this... This is crazy. This Rex, I tried that one first. I thought, oh wow, it's got like well over 100,000 health. But the trouble was, it just kept wandering all over. And either way, it ended up keep dragging things back to here. So yeah... Ideally, you want to try and keep Dodo Rex and those little zombie dodos as far away from your guns as you possibly can, but it doesn't always work because they start blocking. But anyhow, good news is we've got some more chibis. Right, I want to box all this lot up. I'll have to come back and repair that. And I'll meet you back at base. Well, we managed to get back to base quite a while ago, actually. It's just that, as ever with the island, it was raining for quite a while, so I just waited for the rain to ease up. Makes the video playback better. But the good news is we managed to defeat Dodo Rex. I mean, I've got to admit, it was a lot more scrappy than I was anticipating, but oh, what the heck, in the end we managed to get it done anyway. And we've then come out of that with an extra set of chibis, so... we've got this one here, which is a skeletal brontosaurus. Oh, hello. There you are. Right. See if I can get it to jump onto the railing, maybe. That might be better. Yeah. See if I can grab a bit of a shot from there. Oh, that's quite cool, I must admit. It's even got like different coloured bones. Yeah, that's interesting. Right, so... ooh, a zombie wyvern. Let's have a quick peek at our zombie. Well, hello. Oh, dude, what happened? Have you not had anything to eat in a while or something? I mean, you know, there's not much left of you, mate. I mean, look at that. Well, I haven't said that for a zombie. I mean, you're doing pretty well considering you're dead, but you're not dead. You're undead. I mean, you're still flying around. I mean, I've got to admit, it looks pretty vicious, that thing. I wouldn't want to meet one of those things. Actually, I haven't said that. They're real ones on Scorched Earth, aren't they? Okay, I guess we're going to have to meet some real ones then, because we've got to be able to do the Dodo wyvern. Ay. I mean, that's what a chibi looks like. Imagine what the real thing looks like. Ay, ay, ay. Anywho. I mean, I'm sure there's variations on that strategy I was doing there. I mean, for me, yeah, I've got to admit, if I just go for one quadrant of the map and just stick to that, the scanner definitely helps. It saves me a ton of time, because at least then I know where to start looking or whether it's a waste of time looking. But you don't necessarily need it. You could do without. It's just a case of going back out, trying again another time, because it's, I mean, time passes pretty quickly in ARK anyway, to be honest. Gigas, yeah, I must admit I can't think of any alternative at this stage, because I'm staying within the confines of the island. You know, the sort of like the dinos you find on the island. I mean, I've actually got some wyverns that I've brought over from Scorched Earth while I've been wandering around gathering all the bits and bobs for the event. But yeah, I wanted to see what was possible again, just by sticking to those creatures on the map. But I'm sure there's probably another way, if not an easier way to do it than that. But that strategy does work for me. I mean, in that case, it was pretty scrappy, I've got to admit. I mean, the last time I did it, I had the giga was at a bit of a distance from the guns, and the Dodo Rex was in good sight because that it was in a pretty open area, whereas that was quite confined. And my bigger concern being there was, you know, getting pulled in by like a capro halfway down the map, or a thylacoleo suddenly jumping out of the tree. I didn't want to maneuver much, so I felt a bit crammed in there and just wanted to get it done. But in a more open area, those guns are what do the majority of the damage, as far as I can tell. Because I did originally try it with just an actual giga, the same as the original one, Lemming. I mean, Lemming is not my original giga. I've gone through quite a lot of gigas to try and get this working again. But yeah, just a giga alone ain't going to cut it. Because I mean, that thing, it's got pretty fast regenerative health, and it's got, you know, 666,666 health just to begin with. So a giga alone's not going to cut it. The majority of the damage, I think, is coming from those turrets. Now, the previous attempt, I think I said I had 4 heavy turrets, each with 1,000 bullets. Now, they managed to do the job. They actually run out of bullets, and then the giga more or less just finished it off, and it came out with pretty good health. In a previous attempt, the giga managed to somehow get engaged with the Dodo Rex too early, I think. I didn't get time to actually get the turrets up and running, and then that was it. It just fell apart. So that's why I was saying I think the best strategy is get the giga out as soon as you can. As soon as you do that, you know, making sure that you've got a good distance between you and the Dodo Rex so you don't aggro it. Then start focusing on the guns, and then when you're ready, what you can do is you can get your turrets ready, and then you can just pull Dodo Rex over towards you. But just by, like me, I just shot it and that was it. But it is better if you've got an open plan area. I mean, the 4 turrets seem to be enough for me. I was expecting to be able to get through those, you know, those bullets a lot quicker. It was just again, it felt like we were in confined spaces, so they weren't getting a good enough shot at the Dodo Rex. Maybe if I'd manoeuvred them around a bit better, that would have helped. But in this case, I had enough time to get the second giga out, which probably helped as well. But at the end of the day, it worked. I'm not going to complain, it worked. I've got myself more chibis. Woohoo! So I do hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If so, then do please leave a like. I mean, if you can think of a better strategy yourself, better dinos to use, please post that in the comments section below. I mean, I'm certainly interested, and I'm sure anybody else who'll be watching will be interested in it as well. If you're new to the channel, and you'd like to see more content like this, yes, do please subscribe. Just remember to click the little bell icon though, because then you get notifications when new content comes out. But until the next episode, thanks very much for watching. Bye!